don't know. I don't know. Like last night, I was watching the Patriots and Bills game, and when my wife asked me why am I watching it still, I said, "Oh, I just love watching the Patriots suffer." I mean, that just doesn't, there's nothing better than that. So she kind of understood where I was coming from on that one, But overall, it just that was fun to watch. It was fun to watch the Patriots suffer. The only thing is that I'm afraid that we're the ones that are going to suffer now when it's all said.
I mean, that was the worst.
I think this can be a really ugly game, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah, I really do. Today with the Miami Dolphins. I hope not. I hope
You mean the Miami
John
Hurricanes.
Rouse in the house.
Hey.
I would hope.
Man, the myth, the legend.
I would hope that that
Look how quickly he said, "Hey, I got to go get my mask."
yeah. I would hope. And by the way, is this on ESPN this game?
Do you know what? Yes, it is. Exactly.
It is?
It's on ESPN. You hear what John just said?
What did he say?
He was coming over to rescue us and say, "Hey, you guys aren't on."
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it was. We have a couple of issues here with the internet sometimes. So yes.
We even tried Ethernet.
Yeah.
But I got us back on. It looks like we're going. We're
I think
flowing.
so.
Yeah.
Miami J. Walker says this buffering has been like Miami before Greer and Flores era. Thank goodness for those two. It's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate.
It looks like you're frozen again, bro.
Yeah. Well, Rob, you got to let
You're
go.
loose again. You're loose. You're greased.
You got to let go of the. Rob keeps asking about Preston Williams. Nobody has anything on Preston Williams. Preston Williams is injured and he hasn't practiced with the team. He's probably out for the year already. You know what I mean? At this point, it's probably more of a next year thing with Preston. So if I'm you, I would just kind of let it go and not worry about it, because I don't think that you're going to end up seeing Preston Williams this season, and all you're doing is torturing yourself. And you got to understand that this coach, he just does not give away anything. That's the beauty of watching Flo do his thing, is that he's a guy that will not give away any of that. All right, baby, you be good. Thank you, John. Damn, he just popped in and went left. He's a quick hitter here. So we had John Rouse in the house pop in and pop out. So yeah, Rob, stop worrying
Thank you, brother. Be safe,
worrying
man.
about Preston. Worry about Preston for next year. Big O is still getting it. Part 4. Yes. Part 5, Part 6.
I got to compliment that little girl on her hat. Jack the Pumpkin King. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's right. That's what that is. That's right. That's right.
Gotta love Jack the Pumpkin King.
But anyway, I don't look forward to this game. They lost their 2 pass rushers. Okay? They already lost the best one at the beginning of the year, and now they lose the next 2 pass rushers. Who the heck is going to get to the quarterback, man? For this one, and thank the Lord, but they still have some backs. They have a stud wide receiver, and Miami doesn't really have a good secondary. I fear this game, man. I really do. I'll be watching it, but I got to tell you, I don't feel confident about this game at all, which kind of sucks. It sucks not to have
going in and not have any hope.
No, it just sucks that I never have confidence in the Canes anymore. Like I have, forget swag. Swag's gone years ago. Just a feeling of
glimmer
of
hope. Just
with the Dolphins now, I feel it every time now. Now, I'm not telling you that they're a great team, but I can go into every game going, hey, man, if the defense shows up and offense can do a couple things, they'll be in this game and they'll have a shot against anybody. I don't care who it is. They were right there with Kansas City too, man. It wasn't like it was a disgusting uneven game or anything like that.
Hey, seriously, bro, if we had Preston Williams and Devontae Parker
right.
and 1 or 2 of our 3 backs that were out, I believe we would have beat Kansas City.
Yeah,
I
maybe,
do.
Maybe. That's
But yeah,
why I'm
going
just
into tonight's game, when I saw the 2 defensive linemen out, I'm like, that's one of the main strengths of your team.
Yeah.
Like, and we know, look, what is Manny won? 1 game with extra time, and it was against Duke this year, which is a nothing win, okay?
Right. Yeah.
So him having extra time, I was like, that right there, based on what you've said in the past, this does not bode well for us.
No. And Oak State's only favored by 1 in this game, over and under 61. I think there'll be a lot of points in this game. I just
on the wrong side of the
yeah. And listen, not only do you have a chance at losing this game, you're actually going to lose to a guy with a mullet. I mean, that's just, that's wrong on every level. Only Dwayne Shinsius is actually rooting for this. Outside of that, I mean, you know what it is? You lose to a guy with a mullet. That's not a good look for Manny Diaz. So we'll see what happens in this game. I'd like to hold out hope, but it's just hard for me, man. And De'Aaron King is coming back for another year. I don't know what he's coming back for, but I guess he wants to try to build up.
Look, I think that was...
De'Aaron King is 5'9", right?
He is 5'9"?
Yeah, he's 5'9". So you just think about this.
Kid plays bigger than he is, man.
Yeah, and there's no shot he'll be a quarterback at the next level. So the kid's 5'9". You realize that if Jakeem Grant was his left tackle, he would have trouble seeing over Jakeem Grant. I mean, come on, man. It gets to a point where I get it. Listen, selfishly for all of us, we win that De'Aaron King is coming back. But did he really make the right decision for himself? Because if you're going to be an athlete, you're better off leaving. Because if you want to risk injury here and you risk a knee injury, that will hurt you as an athlete for the next level. As a quarterback, it's not going to hurt you, but nobody's going to really look at you as a quarterback. So, interesting that he's coming back, but that's more for us.
Oh,
fans,
totally.
media members, coaching staff. It's all selfish. I'm not sure De'Aaron King did what's best for him.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Because he thinks he'll be a quarterback where I don't think he has a shot at being a quarterback. I think he'll be an athlete at best at the next level. At best, he'll be an athlete. So he'll be a running back, a receiver. He'll use him as a wildcat type guy or something along those lines. He's not ever going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. So why are you coming back? And if you're going to be an athlete, just go now and go be an athlete. Because all you're doing, if next year you're going to be an athlete, you now wasted a whole year in college on a team that's going nowhere.
Right. If you're converting from quarterback to athlete, you need to get going.
You need to get going. And if you blow a knee here, that will hurt you as an athlete at the next level.
Yeah.
So you're better off just go. I'm just being honest.
You being undrafted
I love
rookie.
that De'Aaron King selfishly came back to entertain me next year. Love it. Okay? But I gotta put myself in the objective chair and say, I know De'Aaron King did what's best for me. I know he did what's best for Bill. I know he did what's best for Manny Diaz. Okay? I know he did what's best for Canesware. Because, he can sell the Canes better than almost any player because he's electrifying. He's fun to watch. So he's one of the reasons why you watch, right? But did he really make the best decision for himself if he's not going to be a quarterback at the next level? He can think all he wants, but how many 5'9" quarterbacks are there, dude? How many?
I'm trying to think of the last one. And Flutie was not Flutie wasn't a big guy.
No, I know, but he's like 5'10" or 11 or something.
Okay,
like that.
so he gets a couple inches.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just
okay. So De'Aaron King could wear platform
5'9", bro. I mean,
he could wear platform cleats and get those couple inches. Set a new trend in the NFL.
Doug Fester, Maryland, in 1962, 50 years ago. So there you go. But he's a little taller. But still, and having said all that, it was a rough go for him.
Look, I'm going to say this. After the North Carolina...
And he was accurate as hell. He's actually a good passer. That's something he was always, a good passer, especially for a short guy. But
Look,
he had to go to the CFL to go prove himself.
After the North Carolina absolute debacle, it's the worst loss. The only kind of happiness that we've had as Canes fans is De'Aaron King coming back. And for you to be saying blah on all this, you're kind of peeing in my Cheerios, bro.
I know. Donald said the same thing today. It's like, wow, dude.
Come on, man. That's the only thing we've had happy is De'Aaron King's coming back.
And I'm telling you, it's great for us. It's fantastic for us. I just want you to think you're his father. You're De'Aaron King. Be objective now. Did you make the right decision for yourself? Now, maybe he's a little Peyton Manning. And what I mean by that is Peyton came back for his senior year at Tennessee because he actually loved the college experience. He wanted to finish out his career. He wanted to get his degree. So it was one of those things that
he said he loves being the Hurricanes quarterback. He absolutely loves this.
And that's what I'm saying, that he might have a little Peyton Manning in him where he might be just like Peyton, that he wants to actually have the entire college experience and come back and be the quarterback of the U for one more year. That's important to him. And Manny Navarro said something interesting to me, as he always does in every interview we ever do, because he's a great insider. But he also brought something up that's a really good point, okay? While I'm thinking big picture, in one sense, of his future, I'm not thinking about personally for him, this is the pinnacle of his career. Not playing at Houston, playing at the University of Miami, and whatever he can accomplish, like a bowl game win today, and next year, maybe another good season, maybe double-digit win, maybe a decent bowl game, that'll be the pinnacle of his career. Because if he goes to the NFL or pros, nothing's guaranteed. He may never make it. And so if you left early, you left out that extra year of true college football enjoyment. So maybe personally for him, like you just said, being the U quarterback is more than enough for him. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, to be honest with you.
Maybe the kid is bought into the recruiting class in the future. That may be another contributing factor on that scale that pushes it in that direction of, hey, let me come back. We're supposed to have something going on,
Yeah.
Maybe that's another thing.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Which, I mean, look, we've seen we are what we are. That's the thing that it just absolutely sucks about the situation. We have to be objective. We are what we are. That's it. Manny has proven that.
Yeah. That's why, to me, like Baker, everything will be all right. And that's kind of, I'm sorry. It's not what, it's not the reality. Because the problems for Blake Baker, is it his fault that Rousseau dropped out? And then is it his fault for the bowl game that he loses the next two defensive ends? Is it his fault what you recruited in the secondary? Because Rump is the guy. And Rump has failed as the guy in charge of the secondary and the recruiting and all of that. So do I blame Blake Baker for that? Also, it's Manny Diaz's defense. So do you think that Brian Flores or Matt Patricia or what's the Mike Pettin, some of the different defensive Romeo Crennel, all the different defensive coordinators that he's had with him, okay? Do you think those defensive coordinators they make all the calls, or do you think Belichick has a couple suggestions along the way throughout the week and on game day? I would think so. And while Eric Bieniemy is well deserving of a head coaching job and doing a great job of running the Kansas City offense, do you not think that Andy Reid overlooks it to make sure that he gets what he wants out of it? Come on, man. You think Mike Tomlin, you're running his defense with the Steelers, you think he's not going to have an impact as a defensive-minded coach? Come on, dude. So that's why the Blake Baker, fire him and everything will be resolved. Fans sometimes, no, it's just fans in general. They just come up with these silly ideas, like the idiot we had earlier on the chat. Oh yeah, no, Tua doesn't have an NFL arm, and Tua's not an NFL quarterback. And it's like, okay, you've made that assessment, after one season, and the kid has played about half a season. Okay, and so you're gonna, make that assessment, or a little bit more than half a season. I mean, that they are just not realistic about what's actually going on, and thinking that Blake Baker is firing him will solve everything that you have, every problem that you have. I'm sorry.
It's a scapegoat type look, right?
Yeah.
Because, Manny, dude, your defense, bro, to let it get where it got, I'm sorry. There's no way that this doesn't fall at your feet, man.
Yeah.
It's on you. Buddy of mine, 9 in our last 10 bowl games, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. The last one they won was 2016.
And worst is, think about last year, losing to Louisiana Tech.
I know. Dude, I don't kid myself about this. I don't kid myself about any team locally. Any of my teams. When they're not good, they're not good, and I'll tell you they're not good.
14 or better, we're going down today, right?
Oh, yeah. They're going down today. I don't expect them to win. Unfortunately, I would love to sit here and imagine a win. Well, why am I going to do that?
So what are you saying? Start with the Canes game and then slide over to the Heat, right?
Yeah. And no Butler today. So that'll be.
Remember?
Just like Tua has a short leash, I believe Kendrick Nunn will get the start on a short leash. And if Kendrick is not doing well, then KZ Okpala and others will take over. I believe that's what will happen against the Milwaukee Bucks, because you're not expected to have Butler today or even tomorrow for the back-to-back set, because it's a back-to-back set at the AAA against the Bucks. Because remember, because of COVID, they want less traveling as much as possible. So they're doing some of these games where you're playing the same team for a couple nights. So that way there isn't 2 trips to Miami for them. There's only one. And then there'll be 1 trip to Milwaukee and you'll play them twice, that kind of stuff. So I get what they're trying to do. But, that it'll be a short leash type thing. And I would imagine that that's what it would be in this case too. That you're not – Kendrick Nunn and Tua will not have a long opportunity to go out there. Kendrick Nunn, his shot the first 2 months.
He's like the 12th man on the bench right now,
he was
right?
He was inactive for another.
Yeah.
One of the games, and the other game he played 8 minutes.
8 minutes. It was a Magic game, 8 minutes, and the other game didn't even touch the court.
Did not DNP. Yep. And I think today with Butler out, he will get that opportunity. If he screws it up and doesn't score well, I don't expect him to play a lot. I don't expect Spo to count on him a lot. I expect him to go to other options, because you can tell.
We do have other options,
and you can tell by making him a DMP the other night, that was a monster message that you're sending to him about all of that.
Let's be honest. Last year, in the beginning of the season, when Butler, Milwaukee was we were the first ones to beat Milwaukee, remember? Without Butler, I'm kind of looking forward to the game and the fact, see if we could kind of copy what we did last year, man.
Right.
Because we played well without Butler.
Yeah.
We won those games. What was it, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to give you some good news, just a few days left in the year, right? So we're almost out of 2020. 2021, well, we might be getting hopefully some normalcy back with the vaccine and everything out there. Well, there's new music to look forward to. Guns N' Roses. Slash believes it will come out in 2021. He was telling Cleveland.com about the band's new Not in This Lifetime tour inspired pinball machine. The guitarist confirmed that he worked on the music for both GNR and his side project, Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, this year. So Slash, featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirator, and writing the stuff, Slash said. And prior to that, Duff and I did some jamming, and we also worked on the Guns record. And I've had a couple ancillary recordings and jams on top of that. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. I'm really not good at slowing down and just sitting around. Kennedy recently rejected the notion that the new album with Slash would be out in 2021, mainly because he will be releasing a solo album of his own sometime in the year. However, the guitarist new music from sooner than later. He says, I would like to think that we'd have some new stuff out next year from both camps. I guess it's hard to say, but I would like to think that we have our stuff out next year, yes. And I got to tell you, if you ever have an opportunity to see a couple and Miles Kennedy is a singer of Alter Bridge, for those of you that don't know. And so he and Slash, just, if you could get the album, listen to the album, it's phenomenal. And live, I mean, Slash live is, it's just, shredding for 2 hours.
Let me compliment you on your AC/DC mask there, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Coupled with the Ozzy, that just a nice killer combination you got going on there, buddy.
There you go. I was hoping I didn't know if I had the Motley Crue one in my thing, because I go, I saw Motley open up for Ozzy, so I figured I'd wear that combo, but I didn't have the Motley one on me. So you got some new Slash music, some Guns N' Roses music that's coming up, and Slash and Miles Kennedy, which is absolutely awesome. Now, this is another one that I saw in music that was interesting. Hager did confirm that there was a proposed 2019 Van Halen tour, which would have give the fans something interesting, both frontmen. The singer says he was ready to put aside all differences with David Lee Roth to make sure audiences enjoyed a full taste of the band's history and energy. Discussions had been underway until Eddie Van Halen's cancer battle had become too serious, making him unable to take part in a large-scale road trip. Various statements in the aftermath of the guitarist's death having said he was happy to step back to make it happen. In the new Variety interview, Hager recalled his struggles to reconnect with Eddie before his passing. After years of bad blood between them, I heard he was in bad shape. I wanted to finally said, I'm just calling him. And he said, I was calling his brother. I was calling his manager. I was calling his friends. And I'd say, hey, tell Ed, give him my phone number. Tell him if he ever wants to talk to me, I really, really want to talk to him, talk it out, help him and see what I can do. But they never got it done. George Lopez finally put the former bandmates back in touch. George Lopez. He said, Sammy, Eddie is in bad shape. He loves you, brother. You need to reach out. I said, give me his effing number, and I'll make sure I call him. When they finally made contact, he added, it was like, boom, we were good. It was a beautiful thing. Hager went on to say that the brothers Eddie and Alex, along with the manager, Irving Azoff, were looking at doing a reunion tour with everybody, which is the way it had to be. You go see just me. I'll sing some of the Dave songs, but I wouldn't ever sing enough. And then Roth can't sing songs, so they never heard all of the Van Halen hits, asserting that just wasn't fair, he added. There was always a bitch every time we did a reunion. Whatever one it was a bitch. Yeah, that would have been wonderful. So, that would have been so to actually see an event with both singers on there. And, you probably would have done an hour of each or something like that is probably what they would have done, because you have to do a lot of the Hager songs because, damn, dude, the commercial success of those songs, It
was their biggest commercial success.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Bottom line.
It's not even close. You know what I mean? Even though I'm more of a Van Halen than a Van Hager guy, but I over the years I've gone to appreciate everything that they did with Van Hager. But
there's some really good stuff there, man. Bottom line.
But what you cannot deny is the success. I mean, the worldwide success of that band with Sammy Hager.
The commercial success.
Yeah, they went to another level because other people got to find out about them. They had commercially, Jump and all that helped them a little bit.
Well, 1984, Panama. And of course MTV.
Hopper Teacher, all that.
Yes.
That got him a little more mainstream.
MTV assisting with the video. Let's face it, man.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yes, but with Hager, they went to another level, and that would have been actually really cool to see both of them together doing that. I think that would have been absolutely awesome.
I don't think you're
if they
wrong
could have
for
done
any
that.
of us classic rock people that, man, Van Halen won through Diver Down, man. I'm sorry, you're never going to be able to say that's not the best Van Halen.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Van Hagar stuff. It is really good. I do. But if you're going to put it on a scale, it's not even close. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
You know of the Pantera brothers, right? Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul, right?
Yes.
So this is a crazy story in a way because we have people who are very fanatical and visit the cemetery, and people have tried to pick up the body of Elvis and all these kind of things, right?
You look at the graveyard, the gravesite for Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
Right.
Man, yeah.
So metalheads everywhere have gone to the Texas gravesite of Pantera's Abbott brothers, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. So they probably noticed that there's a new addition. There's a wrought iron fence now that protects the brothers' burying place. The barrier went up sometime within the last year, as evidence in fans' videos of the site. The Pantera drummer Vinnie Paul, later part of Hell Yeah, died in 2018 of heart failure at 54. Dimebag, 38, was murdered on stage in 04 during a show by the Abbotts' post-Pantera act, Damage Plan. So the brothers' grave markers sit beside each other at Moore Memorial Gardens in Arlington, Texas. And to the left of their site is the resting place of Carolyn Abbott, the brothers' mother, who died in 99. Of an additional headstone reading, Abbott marks the family plot. The iron fence, presumably erected to combat vandalism, isn't all that unusual as an inclusion to a high-profile gravesite. Before Vinny's death, Dimebag's headstone succumbed to vandals at least once before in 2010. Around that time, Vinnie Paul remarked on it, and he says, "It's just a disrespectful thing. I don't understand why somebody would want to scratch their name in somebody's tombstone or anything. But fans are rabid, man, and they do unheard of things. I just wish they would respect them and let them rest in peace and just leave it at that." So last year, after artificial turf was laid down around the visitors, Pantera posted an update on social media asking fans to show respect. An updated photo of the Abbotts brothers, gravesite. The cemetery staff works hard to clean up the area. We would appreciate if you would not leave garbage around the graves. Thank you. So this is it's crazy that they have to do this because people can't be responsible, can't be respectful, can't.
You're talking about somebody's resting place. You think you would have respect for the dead.
Just a little bit, dude.
Come on.
Just a little bit, that's all? That's all you got to do is have just a little bit of respect, man.
You know what's one of the problems? A lot of these people are party people, and they get drunk, and when you get drunk,
Right.
And when you get stupid stuff happens, and that's when you it's just a downhill, and at the bottom, there's a bunch of crap, and there you are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's, but it's just, come on, man. Really?
Pretty sad, man.
Do we have to do that? Let me give you a couple of things that happened today in rock history on the 29th of December. In 1973, on this date, 3 months after he died in a plane crash, Jim Croce had his #1 song in the country, In Time in a Bottle. In 98, Evanescence put out their self-titled EP, their first ever release. 100 copies of the set were made and distributed at the band's early live performances. In 1967, on this date, Dave Mason quit Traffic due to creative differences. In 75, on this date, Grace Slick divorced Airplane bandmate Paul Cantor. This is interesting. In 2002, fans at a Chicago Creed concert got angry after singer Scott Stapp forgot lyrics, left the stage mid-show for a while, laid on the stage during the performance. The band's manager later released an apology calling the gig the most unique of all Creed shows ever. And in 2006, Marilyn Manson's wife, burlesque dancer Dita Von Teese, filed for divorce from the shock rocker after just a year of marriage. Okay. A year, huh?
Hey, that's probably 364 days longer than a lot of people thought.
Yeah. Maybe longer than some Kim Kardashian weddings. Or marriages, that is. Kim Kardashian. Gotta love that. Did you see that albums exploded this year? Like there was like a number of album sales this year. Did you hear about that, Bill?
I did not, but I gotta say I'm not surprised.
Right,
considering it is a sign of the times.
Yeah, it's because it's made vinyls have made such an amazing comeback. I've bought a few myself. I still have 2 turntables still at home.
Are those Techniques? May I inquire?
Yes. Technique 1200s, of course, definitely. So according to a recent report from Billboard, vinyl record sales saw a huge bump after Black Friday. An estimated 1.253 million records were sold in the week ending December 3rd, which was helped by Record Store Day's annual Black Friday event. The event offers buyers a chance to purchase rare vinyl pressings available in limited quantities. The uptick in vinyl sales continued after Black Friday, as well as possibly indicating that vinyl records were popular holiday gift this year. Billboard reports vinyl sales surged again right before Christmas, which saw sales increase 9% from the previous week. An estimated 1.445 million vinyls sold in the week ending December 17th. That was the biggest week of vinyl sales since Nielsen Music MRC data began electronically tracking music sales in 91. That's amazing. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are like saying, well, I actually bought a record or 2 this year. I bought this record. I bought that. And listen, if there's one thing that you'll learn full sound from a record pretty much than you will the CD. Can't explain technically what it is about the recording on a record compared to anything else, but it's just more compressed on a CD, and so it just doesn't sound nearly as full as it does on the record. But we have this thing because of the little crackles and the pops that you hear in records, and you really don't hear that when you're jamming. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's always the beginning, man. Give the needle a chance to get where it's got to go, man.
And then you'll be fine. But I'm just saying, it's just funny. But I think it's a mixture. It's older people reminiscing a little bit more and buying some of those records, and then it's a lot of young people
appreciation.
Certain bands that they like, they're buying the record. And now they're finding out what, older people knew from years ago of listening to records, and it's pretty cool. I like it.
One question I do have for you, O.
Yes.
As far as getting a needle for your Technique turntable, is there equipment out there, man?
Oh, yeah.
There is. And belts and everything. Like
Amazon.
You don't have to worry about being left out in the cold and you got a turntable that can't do nothing with it.
No, you're fine.
Whenever you talk snap, crackle, pop, whenever I hear that regarding vinyl, the first thing that goes through my head, remember back in the day, Beatlemania.
Sure.
And it being great and this, and it was like, wow, let's get it in the studio and let's put it on. And them saying we had to actually, put in stuff in the sound because it was a little too even and smooth,
right,
to get it that old grainy quality,
right? Yeah, I'm with you. Cody Douglas, thank you for a little love on the super chat. Thank you. And he's got the rock horns.
Thanks, bro.
Wow. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you, my brother. Very nice of you. Big O, lots of people tend to be shady, little bitches about good people. I'll tell you something. B-Flow is bringing him along on the fly and grooming him with tutoring. And if you noticed it, yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, there's no doubt. Big O, are you going to go to Acura Pembroke Pines this week? Have a copy of the new Solo McCartney to give you. The man is a gem. He plays all the instruments. Thumbs up. Ray, yes, we will be there on Saturday, not Friday. Friday's the 1st. We will be there on Saturday, Ray, okay?
Fun-filled Saturday.
Like around 11 o'clock, we'll be there.
That early?
Yeah, why not?
Are you sure?
Or maybe noon. Whatever.
I was going to say.
I don't know. We'll see. Something like that.
Hey, this is subject to change, and I can tell you firsthand from Mo that he did it to us last week. It probably will be changed.
No, I changed it because we had
the Dolphin, yeah.
I didn't want to do it so early, and then it was such a gap.
Right.
So I figured we were done, and then we could just go over and watch the game and all that. I know you didn't have to go that early, but I want to make sure that I can go and then go watch the game and all that. So that's why I moved it. But I don't think we'll do it that late on this Saturday. We'll be a little earlier. We'll be around 11 or noon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to get out of the way. And then, amen, dude. Amen. And you know, I have never seen Rockville, but
did you know what you were going to see? Like, was it a throw-in, or were you going to see Alter Bridge?
Oh, no. Well, it was on stage, on one of the stages. No, I wanted to see Alter Bridge.
You wanted to see that?
Yeah, because Tremonti is on guitar, dude.
Right.
He's a badass.
Okay.
So I want to see both of them, you know. But Miles Kennedy and Slash, dude, they sound phenomenal. I love those guys.
What's up, Mike?
When you go see that concert, and if you haven't, Mike, if you haven't seen Miles Kennedy and Slash, you got to go see that. That is awesome. Shane Yoakum says, "What do you think if Houston loses and we have the 3rd pick in the 1st round?" Shane, I'm not sure yet. Let's get closer to find out, you know, who's declared and what's available and all that. And then maybe we get a feel. But there's 3 options. The option is you draft a receiver because you need a receiver badly, and you take the best receiver in the draft. Option 2 is if Penei Sewell drops to you at 3. I say drops because he could go to number 2. Because remember, if you're the Jets, you just got Becton on one side, you get Sewell on the other, and you keep Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold's got 2 monsters on each end protecting you, so it's not bad. But if they take a quarterback or something else, then Sewell drops to you. So Miami could take Sewell and put him at right tackle to be behind Tua, to protect Tua's blind side. Or you could draft a quarterback at number 3.
I love the mask.
To then trade down and pick up extra picks too. Because you could draft Justin Fields and trade him to somebody else. So there's a lot of options right now. I'm not ready to give you my permanent, opinion on it and a definitive opinion on where I want to go. But these are the options that at the moment are swimming in my mind. Okay?
You know what I'm hoping for, bro?
What's that?
That team absolutely dying for a quarterback and to be able to trade back just a couple spots.
Right.
And pick up more picks because they want that guy.
Yep.
Please be like my Bears and move up that one spot to get Trubisky, please.
Yep. Raging Dolphin Maniac says Miles Kennedy's band with Slash is amazing. Yeah, you got to see him live. Live, dude. Live is awesome. Awesome. Can't wait to do it. Tremolio says Roth can't hit the high notes though. Roth can't hit anything. He talks all the songs.
You know,
but it would have been fun, man, because you go see Eddie and all that. I already have seen David in his peak. You know what I mean? We saw him several times, so that's to me. But it would have been a nice.
Would it not?
Would have been nice reminiscing.
I'm glad he brought that up because I was thinking about it. Man, wouldn't it be a little bit uncomfortable that like Sammy Hagar's kicking your butt every night?
But he kicked your butt every night anyway.
You know?
At no point did David Lee Roth ever challenge Sammy Hagar in vocals. Ever.
I'm just saying it might get a little bit embarrassing for Dave.
I don't think Dave can get embarrassed.
He doesn't connect to.
I don't think there's any chance David Lee Roth has ever gotten embarrassed in his life. Dave just doesn't care.
Okay. Because Dave's cooler than.
No, he's smart as hell.
No. They said that this guy is really genius.
I know he's super smart. Yeah. What I'm saying is, there's no cluelessness there. He's very aware of everything. He's aware.
It's just he's above it.
Yes. Good afternoon, Big O. Mike Lombardi was on the radio today saying the Dolphin sources are telling him that Miami will explore taking a QB with the 3rd pick in the draft. Yeah, sure. And if you believe Mike Lombardi, I've got a bridge in the Keys, okay, that I'll sell you. Mike Lombardi has zero credibility. Zero. He had a trade by the Eagles going on about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago that he reported, I'm hearing that they're going to trade for somebody, and they never traded for. I forgot who it was now. I got to remember now what it was. But Mike Lombardi is a troll, dude. Don't even bother with Mike Lombardi. I wouldn't believe I wouldn't believe Mike Lombardi as far as I can throw him. Okay? Hey, I'm gonna catch crap for this. But what do you think about a trade with Tua and Howard to Jacksonville for their 1st-round pick? No, I'm good. Thank you. And I doubt Jacksonville does that trade at this point. Okay. What if Trevor Lawrence pulls a John Elway? Do we trade Tua and the number 3 overall pick to Jacksonville? You guys have way too much time on your hands.
Fantasy football going on, right?
It's just there's too much. You guys.
I love the way you call it that. O calls that fantasy football.
Yes, that's what that is. Tua is the future. He will be fine. We're talking about house money and playoff run. I'd rather give it to a veteran who is not conservative. Win or lose, we have a shot. Oh, there's digital music that sounds analog. Not all digital audio sucks, but I do like the way vinyl is packaged. Definitely the packaging is always better because it's bigger and it's, you can actually read everything. I got to look at my CDs and I got to squint.
You think about that packaging of like the bamboo. Yes. And there being a big giant bamboo paper inside your bamboo.
The reason is the final mastering process. When you press the master vinyl, there used to be a final master place in Miami Springs on Westwood Drive. Tremolio, always. Always with the...
Oh, he's telling me about my neighborhood. You notice that?
Always with the fun facts, yes.
Talking about my neck of the woods.
Oh, do you think there's going to be more soft tissue injuries in the NBA with the best amount of training camp we had? Who knows, Anthony? Who knows, my brother? I can't tell you that this NFL season, that injury riddled. Think about that. There's a couple injuries, but was it that bad? Was it like no season you've ever seen before? Not really. And they had no offseason.
Man, and there was a whole bunch of stories about the potential of the lack of training.
I mean, there were a couple of injuries, but there's always injuries.
Always, man.
It's football. And it really wasn't any more or any less. I think it's just luck of the draw, man. I think it is. Let's see. I can imagine us dropping three or more spots, loading up picks. Love it. Greer will be in a great spot. I agree, Ray. Tremolio says, for example, I heard Saturday Night Fever album before the Final Master sounded thin, bad. Then Criteria Studios final mastered, and the record was alive. Criteria, nice. There you go. That's Coconut Grove, right? Criteria. Cody Douglas, are we meeting in Cleveland for the draft? Of course we are, Cody. Hell yeah, we're meeting in the for it again. And you sent another super chat. Thank you, Cody. You got to figure this, Cody. We got the vaccine out now, okay? You know they're getting it to the most important people right now, which is our frontline workers and obviously our older residents in this country. We got to get the vaccine to them first.
I think that's where we're at right now with the elderly, right?
That's yes, the elderly and obviously our frontliners. We got to get through that, and then after it starts with the rest of us. you figure the draft's in April. I would imagine that we're going to have some pretty massive amounts of vaccine being spread out over the next couple of months. And so these numbers, let's hope they start going down drastically and we could get to that point. But I know I'm planning to be there. Okay? That may be the first trip I take is Cleveland. That might be the first one that I've taken since you and I went to Ponte Vedra and Clearwater.
Jackson, yeah, for UFO.
So my idea is definitely we're going to be out there for the draft.
Last trip, last concert,
for sure, sure. Yeah. So Cody, I'll see you there. Alex is out there to Cleveland as long as we've controlled the pandemic. I'll be there with a mask and everything, but I'll be there. Ragin says, that's a different master. There's a new vinyl that sounds digital. Audiophiles complain about that a lot lately. All right. Anthony says, what's your honest opinion on Brian Johnson from AC/DC and Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden as lead singers in rock history? Well, Bruce Dickinson is easily one of the 10 greatest voices ever in metal, and I love Brian Johnson's sound. Now, is he a great singer? No. But his sound, it's like David Lee Roth. Early Van Halen, it's not that David had this great voice. He had a great sound. And it went great music. It was paired perfectly. Okay? And in a way, that's Brian Johnson too. It's not that Brian Johnson, he has no voice that even comes close to a Bruce Dickinson. He'll never sound like Rob Halford, Klaus Main. You know what I'm saying? That's just not who he is. But it's a distinctive voice. And just because of that, I love it. Now, for the record, I'm more Bon Scott than I am Brian Johnson. If you ask me to choose between Brian Johnson and Bon Scott, I'm going Bon Scott every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And love both of them. I have every record AC/DC's ever made, okay? I got no problem with it. I love AC/DC, love Brian Johnson. But if I have to make a choice, Bon Scott, man.
Yeah, it's just a pack of Marlboro Reds and scotch.
A little scotch.
That's all you got to do.
That's it. If COVID is under control, hey, I doubt it will be, but it would be cool. It will be. It'll be more under control, I think. John Moore says Tua has the second highest percentage of throws into tight coverage in the league at 22.8. Fitzpatrick has the highest at 21.7. Russell Wilson and Mahomes have the lowest each below 11.5. There you go. Tua will be fine, bro. Alex Diaz giving a little love on the Super Chat. Alex says, I'm so excited about the future of the franchise, having a top 5 pick and a chance to make the playoffs. I'm so proud of this team, and thank you for everything you do. Do you think we get Penei Sewell? I think there's a chance. Sure. Yeah. I can't rule it out. I'm telling you, I think it's a receiver or the tackle. Yeah. I threw out the crazy notion about getting the quarterback just in case, because that's an option. We have a great trader, Chris Greer. He bamboozles the Belichicks. He bamboozled Belichick for a 6-rounder, and Bill O'Brien was Belichick's little bitch for a while and bamboozled him too.
I could see him trading back, getting more.
At this point, do we put anything past Chris Greer?
No, but there is one thing I do know.
As he's been,
whatever he does, it will totally help the Dolphins, unlike past GMs that you'd be like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm with you. Rosendo says, what are your thoughts on Antonio Brown's latest antics? A video showed him destroying private property. Dude, I have no idea about that. Now, you guys know what I think about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown está loco. That's all. He's a punk, and he's crazy, and he probably shouldn't be loose on society.
You know how he feels about couches. I wonder if he was damaging couches.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe. But Rosendo, if he's destroying private property, then he should get arrested. That's really the problem with the guy, is that he hasn't gotten arrested yet. Big O fins up. I was thinking you are the godfather of this great family. You're Vito or Mike Corleone. I don't know which one. Am I Mike or am I Corleone or am I Vito? What do you think?
I was thinking more along the lines of old school. Remember how that guy was the godfather?
There you go.
I'm thinking you're more like the guy in old school.
I like that. Isn't that the brother of the other guy with the funky nose, Owen?
Yes, exactly. Yes,
right?
It's one of the brothers, yes.
Right? So, what is it, Owen? Something Owen. Because the blonde one, bro, he has the weirdest effing nose. You guys ever notice the nose from the blonde Owen? And then, I don't know, the brown-haired Owen. Somebody help me out there. I forgot the guy's name, but
both of them have been in, like, a ton of movies.
Yes. All my favorite rock singers of all time are David Coverdale, Bruce Dickinson, Freddie Mercury, and Sammy Hagar. Nice. That's a great group right there, dude. It's a great group. Drew Boo, thank you for a little love on the Super Chat. And it's 4:20.
I was just going to say that, bro. I just was going to say that.
It's 4:20. You know what to do. Shaky Money giving us a little love on the Super Chat. And to go off of something that Shaky Money is saying right now, he says Chris Greer, GM of the year. And let me tell you something, Shaky Money. If Chris Greer is not the executive of the year, then we need an investigation. A crime has been committed. Somebody needs to be charged. I need to throw somebody's ass in jail. I need justice, okay? Chris Greer is the executive of the year by miles. It's not even close. Nobody has done what he's done in 2 years. This is one of the greatest turnarounds in NFL history, what's going on with Chris Greer. And how he bamboozles picks from Bill O'Brien that now it's a top 3 pick. How he schooled Belichick this. Oh, you want this guy, Isaiah Ford? Here you go. Bill couldn't use him. We got him back. Got a freebie 6-rounder from him. And then the draft that he's had. I mean, do I need to go over this draft? I know some of you out there, you're all butthurt about, Tua not being, Dan Marino right from the get-go and that kind of crap. But if we start looking at the draft, we see 3 rookie linemen that have played all throughout the year and have contributed to this team, right? You start looking at some of the other draft picks, okay? Lynn Bowden Jr. was another one of those trades. Okay, so the trade for Bill O'Brien, the trade with Belichick, and now the trade for Lynn Bowden Jr., who was I believe, a 3rd rounder of the Raiders, and Miami gave up like a 6th or 7th rounder, something like that, and they got themselves a slot receiver for probably the next few years. So you got Austin Jackson, Solomon Kinley, Robert Hunt, and Lynn Bowden Jr. Salvon Ahmed is a guy that they picked up also off the scrap heap. Look what he's done for them. Raekwon Davis has gotten better as the year has gone on. Brandon Jones in the 3rd round, that safety has been an absolute steal. I know Igbenogany has not been anything special. He did play better the second go-around when he got an opportunity. And we still haven't seen Jason Stowbridge. Is another kid that needs to, we need to find out about him. And who knows if he's got something, there. But you see and then obviously Tua. But he's already working on what could be one hell of a draft for this team. And then you start looking at some of the things from last year, although that doesn't count. But again, it wasn't bad last year too. He was able to get a couple players that really helped him out. To me, and they've got 10 wins with a chance for 11. I don't know who's done a better job than Chris Greer. So Shaky Money, I am with you 1,000%, my friend. Chris Greer has to be the executive of the year, GM of the year, whatever the hell they call it. But he's the man, dude. He's been awesome. And by the way, he brought in Reggie McKenzie, and he brought in Marvin Allen, and he hired Flo. Now, that was all last year. That's what I'm saying. Everything he did last year, and then everything he's done this year, and where they're at from last year to this year, how is that guy not the GM of the year?
Let me be on here. This is what I could see happening, in the event that Chris doesn't get GM, because there is nobody that has accumulated what he has this last year.
Nope.
And Flores as well for Coach of the Year. I have a feeling that they know that next year there's going to be no denying because of our drive. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't get it, it's with that they know that it's coming next year.
Yeah, wow.
You know how they do that. Know how they do that.
And if they make the playoffs, it just
look,
in a second year of a complete teardown.
I'm just trying
Total
to
teardown.
Like what their thought process would be that, well, they're going to win it next year.
Yeah.
Why give it to them this year?
Yep.
Kind of a thing, you know?
Yep. Rosendo says I look more like a Sonny Corleone. All right. Alex says, I got a feeling that he may trade the top 5 pick to get more first-rounders. Like you said, you can't put nothing past Greer. Maybe get 3 more first-rounders. For a quarterback, he may be able to do that. You never know, man. You never know what he's going to be able to pull off, but he's...
Look, it would be a smart move because like you've talked about with your money and spending,
right,
to spread this out, man, and backload to 22, 23 and get some picks back on that end, so you, like Dallas, the way they were up against and having to sign all these guys, you got to kind of spread that out like butter, man, and spread it out over years.
Orlando, do you think the NFL is going to go to both GM of the year and Coach of the Year tomorrow? Well-known people inside Chris Greer and Brian Flores. I don't know, man. I think they're both worthy of Coach of the Year and GM of the Year. But I would like to at least see one of them get it, man. And, just to add a little caveat to all of this, Stephen Ross is doing something historic. He's got a minority general manager, a minority head coach, and a minority at quarterback. The NFL, if you want to promote this kind of stuff and you want to make it something that maybe you want to send a message to the rest of the owners, maybe this is what you reward. Okay? You call out the Dolphins for doing a great thing in hiring 2 people that were worthy of the job. They deserved it, and now they have proven that they're really good at their job. And now you send a strong message to the rest of the league and its fan base and media that not only are we encouraging the hiring of minorities, but we're also going to understand that when they do a good job, they're going to get rewarded and noticed just like their white counterparts, in other words. You know what I'm saying? So I think the NFL has a great story under their nose in the Miami Dolphins. An owner that has the Rise program, an owner that now goes and backs up what he does with the Rise program and goes and hires a minority GM, and not as a token. He's not hiring the GM and then telling him what to do. He's not Dan Snydering his ass. No. He hired the guy, and he actually got out of the way.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, I know. And he got out of the way, and Chris Greer has made all the decisions. So it's an even better look for the Dolphins. It's a better look for the NFL. It's a better look overall because, my Lord, 70% of your players are black. So, you know what, dude? You should recognize the minorities that make up your game and help your game be what it is. Make sure you recognize the people that are excelling. And because minorities don't get a lot of opportunities, well, the ones that do and they shine, well, make sure you you accentuate that because that way it sends a nice message to all the other owners that may not be thinking about doing this. No, your mic's off.
Look, and that there's an acknowledgement that look at what they did.
Right.
Let me ask you, okay, if the scenario is such that only one of them can win it this year, or putting it off and then both winning it together next year.
Yep.
Which scenario do you like better?
Say it again?
That one can win it this year and win it next year.
As long as both get recognition, I'm good. I'm good with that.
You don't like the idea of both of them winning it in the same year, like how?
I love that, but as long as they get the recognition, I'm good.
Look, I
one way or the other.
Oh, I don't think that there's no way that these guys, either this year or next year, that they're not getting.
Well, I don't know what waits next year, but this year I know that they deserve it.
You know what? You did mention the Browns coach,
right?
And the turnover, and how that people might, you know.
And Rage and Dolphin Maniac says, hey, don't forget Shula turned the Finns into a Super Bowl team in 2 years. Yes. But there were players in place when he got here. Greasy was already here. I believe Zonka was already here. I believe Kuchenberg was already here. No, maybe not. I got to look it up now. It might have been. I got to look it up. But there were certain players that were already here that made like Shula's rebuild. I'm not taking anything away from Shula, please.
We're not talking from ground zero, scratch.
That's what I mean. This is
this
is ground zero. No quarterback, no nothing, no culture. Well, they didn't have
a culture either. And
you
bare boned it. Like you got rid of anything that was worth anything.
And remember, there's a salary cap now.
Yes,
which
you got away. Yeah, you know what? That's one thing that everybody forgets.
It's a whole different monster here compared to what it was in the old days. There's no salary cap. There's no acceleration of. Like in the first year that they took a monster cap hit by releasing so many people. You know what I mean? So that's where it would be a little different. Agree, Big O. This is a rebuilding year, and we have a 10-5 record and a shot at the playoffs. A number 5 seed, a number 3 draft pick. Life is so good, isn't it? Cody says Andrew Van Ginkel was a complete steal last year. Yes, yeah, that's my boy Van Ginkel. I love Van Ginkel.
I just remember you being pissed when he did well and then didn't get to play last year. It's like, why isn't this guy in the lineup?
I know. Yeah. Yep. Big O, do you think Chris Greer is the best GM Dolphins have had? Yes. Since the Shula days? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely. Since the Shula days. They got a lot more to go, but yes. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. All right, it is time to wrap it up here on the show. We got to thank all of you out there for always keeping it locked here and supporting us. I appreciate all of you out there, always.
I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say.
What's that?
The Wi-Fi was better than the Ethernet, if you can imagine.
Yeah. No, the chat board's blown up since it's been on the Wi-Fi than the Ethernet. So,
we will be doing our show tomorrow out at VSS.
Yes, we'll be at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. So come on out there. We'll be out there. I'll be out there right around 3 o'clock, I would say. It would be. So if you got time, come on out and join us at 3 o'clock out there at VSS West Pines.
That place is always so cool.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and they also probably have the new place down, a couple doors down, open.
Right.
That maybe we'll do the show from there tomorrow.
Yeah. Rosenda says the Dolphins were 3-10 and 69. You know what? Let me look at the. Watch this before I go.
You're gonna give us a Dolphins history lesson,
Miami
my brother,
Dolphins,
before
1969 roster. Okay. Show you. You ready? Bob Greasy, Jim Kick, Larry Zonka, Larry Seipel, Larry Little, Manny Fernandez, Bill Stanfill, Nick Bonacani.
That's a lot of guys.
And Dick Anderson.
Oh, only Dick Anderson?
Did you hear that? The 69 team before Shula got there? Did you listen to that? That's what I'm saying, man. You know?
Larry Seipel, probably the last punter, tight end.
Dude, you
Right?
have Greasy, Zonka, Kick, Larry Seipel,
Bill Stanfield,
Larry Little, Norm Evans,
Manny Fernandez.
Manny Fernandez. I mean, Nick Bonacani.
That's over half the
Dick
team.
Anderson.
That's over half.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just, again, I don't want to take anything away from Shula, but I just gave you I gave you Hall of Famers in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, come on, dude. It's 3 of them. Just Bonacani, Zonka, and Greasy. Those are 3 Hall of Famers.
Wasn't Hines? I mean, he was a backup, but wasn't Hines on the 72, 73, 74? I want to say.
Maybe. Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah. So, that's where it's a little different that, Shula had it's Saban taking over for Shula.
Lloyd Mumford.
David Shula.
There's Lloyd Mumford, man. There's another one.
David Shula. Because David couldn't get Alabama over the hump. But David had a pretty good team. He had recruited some pretty good players. Shula takes over. Saban takes over and takes him to the next level. It's Phil Jackson taking over for Del Harris with the Lakers. Same team, except different. So, yeah, Shula added a couple more pieces, but obviously
there's a pretty solid nucleus of guys to build off of.
I wish that we had that to start off with. Can you imagine?
No.
What Chris Greer can draft and then that? Whoa.
Hold on. If he would have had something like that to build off of,
no,
we would have won
games.
the division.
Yeah, last year,
okay.
Yeah.
No, this year.
No, last year. No, they wouldn't have won 5 games. They would have won a lot more.
That's what?
That's my point.
I'm talking right now.
No,
this
I know
year,
you're talking about this year.
We would have 12 or 13
this year
wins.
they're a Super Bowl winner.
We would have beat Kansas City, right? We would be the 1 seed and the number 1 power team in the NFL.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Not that we're not going to be there. I could see it.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
We're going to be the team that everybody hates.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Rosendo goes, they didn't play like Hall of Famers in 69. Guess what? Neither did Tua in his first year. All right, we're out of here on that note because, that's how it goes. We'll see you guys tomorrow at VSS West Pines. We'll be on somewhere around 3 o'clock. Everybody, just fantastic people. They know how to get it done here. We'll be back here in a couple weeks. Bill, as always, excellent work by you, sir. Thank you.
I hope that we were able to enjoy tonight's game. I'm talking the Canes now. The Heat. I think we're gonna show up tonight, man. I feel good about the Heat.
I feel good about the Heat showing
Canes.
up. Well, dude, the Knicks just beat the Bucks.
Yeah,
the Knicks just beat the Bucks.
And
we got a shot.
When guys are out, people raise their game, and we've got guys that take pride in that. They're going to raise their game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, man.
All right, you all be good out there. Much love.
Love that mask, that Heat mask.
We'll see you tomorrow, all right?
Everybody
Much
be
love.
safe, please.
Thank you.
Till tomorrow.